think.
Wait a minute. I have a gem?
You have to be willing to look for it.
Somewhere?
Yeah, dude.
In there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course you do.
I can tell you.
It's like coal.
I can tell you love
compressing enough.
You love to crack jokes. And
I
have
do.
Humor.
I do.
You,
Jokester. So you get
pour
married.
some more wine.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I gotta pour some wine.
Anyway, so I'm gonna cut it short. So what happened? We have a whole ceremony that happened, and I wouldn't go into all the details because it's whatever. It's very different. But we made 7 kids. Joanna was the oldest, and I stayed faithful to the whole thing. I stayed faithful to my wife, except at the end when I said I've had enough. But I eventually I bought my own. You're supposed to give everything to the whole movement.
Okay.
Then the movement gives you some kind of stipend to live.
Oh, okay.
But with 7 kids, I was kind of seeing like the leadership of the whole thing was like sending their kids to universities and schools, and then I'm here to fend for myself, and I'm giving my money every day to.
Oh,
and you're
like
not supposed to own anything, but I said screw this.
like a double standard kind of thing.
I was living in New York, and I called some relatives. I said, send me some money. I'm buying this little art business, and I bought a little art shop. It's actually in Grand Central train station. It's called the Grand Central Art Gallery.
Oh, cool.
And
That's awesome.
and I was framing pictures and selling art and supporting my family that way. And everybody thought, oh, this guy's an outcast. He's making his own money. And I said,
You motherfucker. He's selling shit.
Yeah. He's
Damn, you got
he's selling
9 mouths to feed, basically.
Oh,
so,
man.
but it was successful. We bought our first house in New York, and I happen to have a business knack. So the business really grew. And then I thought, okay, but I still like this idea of that we're going to make this world a better place. So I went to there's a seminary that the movement bought in New York. And the professors were like a Confucianist lady from Harvard, a Jewish rabbi, Christian for a Catholic priest. All these different faiths were teaching. So you could hear all the religions of the world. And I thought, okay, I want to do that. So I hired an employee to work in my store, and I went to school part-time and that. So I got this master's degree in religious education. Because the whole thing was, that was my way to get direct to the top guy without all these bureaucrat guys in the middle. And they're mostly Asian with big egos. And if you did this, then it proved you were trustable. And Reverend Moon, who was the head honcho guy, would give you a job directly.
Oh, nice.
So I finished that in like 3 years.
So then there's bureaucracy like anything else then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially in the Asian culture.
Okay.
But that project he gave us was to start a newspaper, Central America.
Oh, this is the story. Remember,
Yes.
Joanna told us about that
Okay, we're
whole
coming.
move down
Central
to
America.
So I took
Right.
all my kids
that's
to
the
luggage
Costa
falling
Rica.
out of the car.
that was a job
That Reverend Moon gave
Reverend
me.
Moon directly.
I
Wow.
didn't realize that when
Okay.
she told the story.
He owned this paper that was in 14 countries, and it was like a USA Today in Spanish.
Okay.
And I was trained at a Washington, D.C. newspaper, and he said, okay, you got your 2-week training, go open a newspaper, a satellite office. So it was really cool.
You're like, sweet.
I mean,
I'm
I had
going
to
Guatemala.
research who are the like journalists, where is the printing, how do you buy the paper, how do you advertise, how do you circulate, all that shit. And I had like 26 employees, and I was the general manager of this newspaper office, which was really fun.
Wow.
And all the ex-presidents and congressmen, senators, they all wanted to interview me because they wanted to be in the paper.
Right.
So they
right.
invited to their Christmas parties and their houses.
Good Lord. You're
And-
just a rock star.
It was pretty amazing job.
How long did that
Oscar
go on?
Arias is a Nobel Prize guy in Costa Rica.
Well, that's supposed to be just a wonderful country in general too, although that's a different time, I guess, but
it's still run by oligarchy. Of a
pretty
few
woolly down there
families.
though, right?
Well, if you didn't know who's who, you could be
Right.
I mean, I heard so many disgruntled Americans down there that were like screwed.
But people aren't disappearing maybe so much as some of the other South American countries, right? Or do I have the wrong perception of it?
No, that's right. That was like 20 years ago, though.
Right. Dude,
But
is it
longer
is
than
it,
20
is it
years,
me?
Ed.
But speaking of,
20, well, I've been here 20 years in California.
Sorry, I was dating back to 82.
90, yeah. Well, I was there in 98, 99.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, but is it me or is South America? So that kind of, in a way, you're kind of an expert.
America?
Well, Central America too. That it seems like the overall system of governments, like they've regressed some. They've gotten more totalitarian, and it's gotten like more corrupt, and
Exactly.
seems to be going the wrong way.
That's why they're all trying to march into USA to get out
Right.
of there, because it's
Amen. I'd
Mike-
get the
fuck out.
Falcon
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Well,
You're
my
going to get all
current
shy with your F word
I know.
now?
I'm not going to say. I'm going to say Falcon now.
Well, my
That's what I
current-
say at home.
my current wife is from Guatemala.
Oh, okay.
She would never go back and live there. She's just, as soon as they know you're tied to U.S.,
Yeah.
you're a target.
Yeah, it's bad news
And-
down there.
But anyway, I took all my kids there. We went 2 years there, and then I came back here. And my brother lives in the city, and he said, "Come to Northern California, great place to live."
Oh, it's awesome.
So I came. No, I did. I sent my wife here. And I said, "Go check it out. Find us a home. Find us a place to live." We had our art business still that we were surviving from, and she came and saw Walmart, Roner Park. Said, "Walmart, 7 kids."
What year
We're
was that?
living here.
What year
We're
was that?
living here, right next door.
It was 1999.
Oh, wow.
Ah, 99.
And you've been here ever since.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Isn't
And
that
I
a
moved-
great story?
That's a tremendous
Well, here's that good little
journey
final
of
thing.
life.
I was totally confident that I was going to provide for these 7 kids. I knew if I could sell candy on the street all day long,
Yeah.
I knew a way to make money. There's always a way to make money. I could go buy bananas and resell them for double and come home with some food, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I didn't know what I was going to do here. I looked in the art business because that's why I really love art. And there wasn't enough population around here to really support art for a family. So my neighbor said, my father's a doctor at Stanford. He bought property around here. Real estate's really a booming thing. You should try it out. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll get a real estate license.
Wow.
And he was a Jaguar mechanic, my next door neighbor. And so I didn't know anybody. Just got a license, and I knew how to go door to door. God, I'd done it for like fucking
perfect
15
job for
years
you.
all day long.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So they said, hey, the best way to get clients is to go door. I said, no problem. Sign me up. So
And
I was in
this is
6
history.
figures my first year in real estate, not knowing a single person.
Yeah.
So it's kind of said, it's like foreigners come here, if they're hungry enough, I mean, why do they
They're
buy
hustle.
homes
People
and
hustle.
businesses and apartment buildings?
Man, I know.
And because they're hungry.
Because they're
You gotta be-
hustlers.
if you're hungry,
yeah,
you're
for
hustler.
sure.
yeah.
If you hustle, but we're kind of spoiled.
Now my kids are so lazy.
Yeah.
I'm just
You gotta keep-
that 5-year-old. I'm
kick
telling you,
their
he just
ass.
wants to play all the time.
Darn
Oh,
5-year-old.
5-year-old.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So that's it.
I think what is, as you're telling me this story for like the third, he's just showing me this picture of me sticking out my tongue. I've heard this story now probably 3, maybe 4 times, and I adore it every single time. But this is the first time that I don't know why it's taking me this long to thread this. One of the reasons why I love you so much and that you fit in so much, not just with Keller Street Co-work, but with what my vision of what this community can be, is because from a very early age, what you decided to do was live a lifestyle that was important to you. So at the time, it was an alternative lifestyle, right? But nonetheless, you had this idea that you wanted to be aligned in your life. Whatever, you didn't care what the work was. You didn't care who the players were in your life. All you wanted to do was be happy, and you were going to go figure out a way to do that. And for me, it feels so very much how this place came about anyway. I became very intentional about lifestyle design and how, what's important to me in all different areas, not just in my work, but with my family or with my, love relationships or lack thereof. But what's important to me
So far.
You're so foolish.
So, I mean, love relationships is a little different than what you're referring to.
Yeah.
But the point is that the intention to align your life or to live a certain lifestyle and to go search for that is so, I feel, it's like such a huge thing. And you did this in an age, right? Like in the hippie age where it wasn't yes, everybody wanted to love each other, but there was no not no, but there probably wasn't a lot of thought about how you were going to do that and make a career and potentially have a family. There was just kind of, and you made a deliberate attempt to design your life the way that was, that made you happy.
Yeah.
And I wish that were a course in school, actually. I wish there were like an intro course in junior high, a second level course in high school. And I think that is such an important component of human existence.
You're talking about designing your life.
Yes. People should learn how to
and live purposely.
Live with purpose in whatever way that means for you. Realize that it's not balancing life and work and that type of thing. And we've had this discussion, right, Phil, many
balance
times
is
about
important.
Balance versus
I'm kidding.
alignment and all of that.
Twist the knife.
But I think that's why you kind of touch a special place in my heart. And it's just your nature to
I think you
be a
don't
happy
realize
human.
how much you are serving people here because, you have to put a lot of people's concerns, not only the owners of this business, of course, and the whole building, but everybody who's here to try to succeed in our businesses. And we have certain, everybody has a certain requirement or need, or if they fit in the place here, a day pass or a week or whatever. And I think, Danielle, and a lot of young realtors ask me, gosh, how come you're busy? What's going on? I'm just starting out and I'm so stressed. I got to feed my family and I always tell them, and I think it should be something about purposeness and taught to people, because I think the real secret of being happy in life is if you can finally figure out that it's not about getting. Mm-hmm. You're really happy in life when you feel like you're needed and you have a purpose and you want to serve and give something to the world or to people. Like this place is, guys, look at how many people it's provided a successful work environment for.
And she does add I don't know if you want to call it, she augments or enhances, but you do give an energy push to just about everybody I've seen around here.
I try. Actually, I don't try. I think that's naturally very easy for me to do. Like I'm a connector, and a connector in a way that I connect people together, but also my relationships are important to me, and I like to connect with everybody. And for here, it's amazing because there's so many swaths of types of people in here, and I connect with everybody deeply, but on a different, in a different way, and that makes me feel very whole. So I think that translates probably. But you just said something that reminded me. There was back in the fall or maybe in December, I was going to a networking event, a real estate networking event, which is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, right? And I went into Ed's office to get a little bit of advice. And I was like, all right, hey, I'm not awesome at going into a networking office full of people that I haven't curated. No. And, and I in real estate, it's not something I'm an expert in. Right. So I was, what kind of advice can you give me? And the biggest piece of advice, you gave me a lot of really great information, like tactical things I could do to talk to people about. But bigger than that is he said to me, here's the thing you have to remember. Go into the room from the direction of being of service. Don't go in there thinking, what can my connections to these people do for me? But how can my connection serve them? And it seemed, when you said it, you kind of just put it out there and then you moved on about like, here's some real estate terms that you can remember and you sound like you know what you're talking about. But that really
yeah, he's probably worked very hard to get to that point.
But that struck a chord for me. And it really did change. It was such a great piece of advice because that's what I did. Is I went in there and I'm like, this is not about me. This is just about meeting people. Maybe these people would be a part of our community. Maybe not, but it can't hurt to meet some new people. And the fact that it was held at a brewery helped as well. So I may or may not have had a quick glass of beer.
Lead with that next time. The story.
Yeah, it was good.
But it's so liberating to kind of take that viewpoint, because what more could you do but want to be of service? Mm-hmm. And hey, if it's not working, okay, maybe it's not the right place to be, or people don't see it, and you move on.
Right.